Hi, I'm Bonita Green, and I'm president of the Merrick-Moore Community Development Corporation.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Mason-Evans, the chair of the Bragtown Community Association, and we're sitting in the gardening space in which the community wanted to have for being able to receive fresh fruits and vegetables. The Bragtown Community Association has been in, progress for at least 5 years, going on 6, and we are hoping to be able to continue to make better improvements of a community that has been underserved for so long. How about you start, Bonita?
Okay, so the way we got connected is that back in, I believe it was like 2018, our neighborhood improvement services liaison was Jacob Lerner, and Jacob had told Merrick-Moore about the neighborhood matching grant, and we applied, but we had a strong application, but it wasn't strong enough. So then it was recommended that we talk to Vanessa Mason-Evans in Bragtown because they had submitted an awesome application. And so, I reached out to Vanessa and she graciously responded. She met with me many times. She came and met with our community association. And, it turns out that we had a lot of stuff in common. So I'll turn it to you.
Same thing. In meeting Bonita, we realized that our communities were so alike and connected, and they've been connected for centuries. It goes back to our parents and our grandparents who have worked the land, and we both had some of the same ideas that both communities were wanting the same things. So it was like automatic connection. And since then, we've been working on trying to improve our garden spaces so that we can have healthy foods for our community members, having events within the community to help our communities learn about different things that are going on in Durham. So here we are. We're partnered and hoping that this relationship between us will continually grow, which I know it will. But it's been a blessing that we've been able to come together and take some of our ideas from our community members and be able to have them voiced, especially with city council and commissioners, so they can know that our communities have needs just like other communities. They have been getting it for years. Like she said, just by us having meetings together and bringing her community meetings so that we could learn about her community, her being in the spaces of learning about our community, wanting to make sure that we're able to receive fundings from the city and the county of Durham, as well as looking at other investments as far as grants that may be available to our communities to help improve the hurts and harms that have come to our communities. So these are things that we've been working on since we've come together and met.
Yeah, and I think also we've had similar parallels in rezoning issues and dense development. And so Bragtown and Merrick-Moore were both fighting against dense development and rezoning against the same developer, essentially. And we each supported each other in our fight. And I believe we were the first legacy communities, because we're both legacy communities in Durham, and so we were the first to actually win our cases before the Planning Commission and before the City Council, which was huge because before they were always voting in the favor of the developer. So we were the first ones that actually were able to convince the City Council to vote in favor of the people and community. And we also have worked on other projects, like really looking out for our legacy residents and low-income residents in the community who, because of their property taxes, have been raised. And so we're working collaboratively on a project to bring home improvements and stormwater controls to homeowners at no cost to them. So that's something to be.
That's a big thing.
It's a big thing, and it's something to be that we're both really, really proud of, that we can help out in those ways.
Yeah. Well, far as for what we've been doing so far in the first round, we were able to get about 25 homes, I believe, that got home repairs. And most people got between 5 and 6 things done in their home. They might have got a new roof, they might have got a brand new air conditioning or refurbished furnace, maybe a kitchen that needed to be repaired, or a floor that was sinking in, or a bathroom repair. So it wasn't like a person just got one thing done. It was a blessing to have that to come through. And then we also had about 40-some people to get rain gardens, gutters, and cisterns. So these were things that people needed for their homes to improve the water damage, just so this damage wouldn't be going into their homes or into their crawl spaces or basements. So with that happening, it really helped a lot of people to get their homes improved, and it took a weight off of them. Because a lot of people in our communities can't afford to get those things done.
Yeah.
I mean, a roof alone can run you between $10,000 to $20,000 depending on what type of roof you have. So in having people come to do this free work, it freed people up to more or less focus on their medications, putting more food in their homes, not having to worry about their taxes so much, because that money that went for a roof could go toward their taxes. And then, like Bonita was saying, along with the change in the tax program that they set up, it was a way of helping people to not have to pay a high tax bracket.
Yeah, weatherization was also a part of that.
Yeah.
But I think it's what's kind of unsaid is the stress level that happens in low-income communities when you can't afford to do the things that need to be done. And so being able to take those burdens off of people, I feel, that it helps them live a little bit better, a little bit longer. So, yeah, it's a good thing.
A real good thing.
Yeah.
Even with health disparities in seniors, a lot of seniors, they were so thankful, because we did do in October of last year, we did our celebration at the end of the year, where people got to talk about what was done in their homes. And so many people were thankful that we had a program that could help them to get improvements in their home. We do have our second round is going on right now, and they're talking with different homeowners about getting home improvements done again. So that is something that's happening now, and we'll find out as the grant funding comes through how many homes will actually end up getting done.
I think we'll always support each other.
Yeah.
In whatever work, that we do, we'll always support each other in those ways. We've also, partnered with Ellaby Creek on a couple of stormwater creek watching projects, and also, with their preserves, and just bringing the information to the community about Ellaby Creek and about stormwater and flooding.
Some things don't come exactly when you want them. I've learned patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
And when you stay humble and you be patient, things will work out for the better.
I think it's important now. Most people, I feel, when they talk about health equity or anything of that sort, they talk about youth. But I think we have to fill the gap. We do for the youth, but we can't forget about our seniors, because without them, we wouldn't be here and be where we are and have the things that we have. And so, personally, I want to make sure that we're looking out for our seniors, because, one day I'll hope somebody will do the same thing for me. But I think it's important for both of us to try to set a roadmap or a plan for the youth that are coming up, so that they know how to engage, and we can say, hey, these are the things that we did that were good, these are the things that we did that didn't work. But at the end of the day, I think, when you're working from passion, it all comes through, at the end of the day. So just, finding those youth to be able to train and say, this is the work that needs to be done and this is why it's important.
Yeah. And I feel the same way. I feel too that we need to let our youth know what's important within their community, because their voices do matter. Their voices is just as important as an adult's voice. I feel when you have young people within the arena of the work that's going on within the community, it leaves a footprint for them to, like you say, to follow, to learn from our mistakes so that their mistakes are not the same mistakes. You're going to always have mistakes, but knowing that you can make things better from things that was taught from the past. I think that's why Bonita and I are closely alike in some ways, because we were probably raised in some of the same similar ways, having morals and values and respect for other people. And I think one of the things I know for the Bragtown Community Association, we really, really want youth that will come in and maybe start an Instagram page for us, that will not just be about the older generations, but that will cater to some of the things that young people want to put out and let the community know about, and work ethics and things like that. So we look forward to having more youth being a part of not just the garden and, you know, being a part of the BCA, but being able to get their voices heard and their needs and their wants.
Oh gosh. Tenacity, stubbornness, knowing that nobody else can do it. Okay. you see a need, and nobody's stepping up to the plate to serve that need. And so, yeah, that's what drew me into that position.
Mine was a little bit different. I'm not gonna go into big detail because I don't want to step on no one's toes, but in the middle of the night one night, I was woke up and God said, Vanessa, I need you to change your community. I didn't know where I was gonna start, what I was gonna do. But me not answering him for about 3 weeks, I kept feeling something tap me on the shoulder, and when I would turn around, it wouldn't be nothing there. And I know I have a very close relationship, because that's what true, how you say, being a Christian is, having a true relationship with God. So in hearing his voice, I finally answered him. And the first person that came into my life that was able to help me change and get an organization together was Mamie Webb of Duke. And from there, it went on from that person to the next person and the next person, because I'm not going to sit here and try to name every person that I've come in contact with, but every organization that we are partnered with or who has been supportive of us, those are the people that I end up meeting over time. And those are the people who have helped us to get, funding. Like, for example, I say the community partners of City of Durham, Durham Cares, Reinvestment Partners, Duke, and the 14 communities that they work with. Central, Dr. Johnson, helping us to get oral histories done within our community. Having David Wilson and Claire Alexander to put murals up in the community. So those are people who I ended up connecting with, not knowing where this journey was going to take me. But I'm enjoying this journey because it's not like I'm being forced into anything. It's like it comes natural. And when things come natural, it's easier to want to, work and do what you do. So I enjoy what I'm doing, but I just want more people in the community to love their community enough that where their voices can be heard. And it's not just my voice or 3 or 4 other voices being heard. I feel the more voices we can get into space, the more powerful we can be. We're more united together than we are apart.
And I think that's the thing that Vanessa and I both do within our community organizations, is that there's a democratic process when it comes to making decisions. Neither of us, we don't lead from a self-centered position. It's about the community at large, in particular our legacy, residents that have been here for a long time and our seniors that have been here for a long time, but it's never about us as individuals.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
And it's hard work. Community work is hard work, but it's gratifying when you can see the work that you do comes to pass. When you can see a grant that comes through and it's able to benefit a community, has nothing to do with me or Bonita, like she was saying. But you can see that this is something that's going to benefit the community in a positive way. Those are the things that make me happy. To know that, having a garden where you can get fresh fruits and vegetables, no chemicals are on it, no pesticides, no wax, but natural gardening, like back in the day when our grandparents and parents was gardening. That's the type of gardening that we're both doing for our community. And we know that a lot of people have food disparities right now. Food is going up in the grocery stores. A lot of people not making the income that would fit what Durham is doing right now. With gentrification coming in and people buying homes at $3, $4, $5 to $1 million, and people only making between 19 to I say 50,000 a year, that's not a lot of money when you have the prices of stuff just steadily going up and up and up. So it's good to know that the things that we do, we're trying to benefit other people, not ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I think you just do it, you know. But in whatever you do, you have to build a coalition around you of like-minded people with similar values, morals and values, that are working along the same path as you are, because nobody does anything alone. You know, it's a much harder road when you try to just do it yourself, because you find yourself bumping into brick walls. But when you have a good team around you, and like, you know, Vanessa and I have partnered with different environmental nonprofit agencies and nonprofit agencies across the city of Durham who have supported us in the work that we're doing. So it's important that you have a team built around you. You have people to support you when you're having your mental crisis breaks, that you can call somebody and that you can talk to and vent, and don't have to worry about it getting out or anything of that sort. So I think it's important work. I think it needs to continue. But yeah, you just got to do it. And I think step out on God, like Vanessa said, because a lot of times I jump on things without a plan. Yeah. I'm that blind faith person that I'm gonna jump out there and I'm like, okay, God, bring it together, because I've gotten myself in a mess here. And so bring it together, and it works out, you know, for me. But I'll let Vanessa talk.
Yeah, the same thing, like you're saying, just meeting and kind of connecting with the right people, like-minded people who see the same things that you have see or vision for your community. Not letting other people just, deter you from doing something you feel in your heart that is right. If you know in your heart and your mind is telling you this is something you need to be doing for your community, don't let others sway you away from what you feel in your heart you know is right.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes, because you're going to make plenty of them.
You're going to make a lot of them.
But it's just a learning opportunity.
You said that right. And two, I've learned being a leader, you have to be a person, you know, to be a person who's in the lead, you have to be willing to take blows. And some blows can be very nasty, and some blows can knock you down, but you have to just get yourself up, brush yourself off, and start all over again. Mm-hmm. We can't please everybody. And everything that you do is not going to be for everybody. We need to learn that no matter what happens, we respect one another in the works that we do. And I think when we come together and collaborate and work together as partners instead of working against each other, we can get so much more done. And that's one reason why I enjoy working with Bonita, because Bonita and I, she has her differences, I have my differences, but it doesn't make us not want to be around or work with each other. I don't expect for no one that I come in contact with to see everything my way, or that I have to see everything their way. And when we as people learn that, you know, we can all have differences, but we can still come together and work for a common cause, especially when it's dealing with people who are in a need, whether it be food, health, housing, and when I say housing, I mean affordable, true affordable, because what they're saying is affordable is not true affordable. And we need to make a definition of what true affordability is. And I'm talking about people who, not people who, when you hear the word low income, they think it's people who are in a projects or low. I don't understand why it has to be that if a person is on a low income, you think that they don't have a true sense of knowing the lifestyle they want to have, or income that can meet the standards of what they want. A lot of people just don't have the income coming in because of the job status of where they're working. The essential workers that we have out here, you have firemen, you have teachers, you have people who work in the food industry, work in the hospital. They don't make enough money to cover what Durham is doing right now. And working with another partner we have is DataWorks. And they're saying that, between $35 to $45 an hour is what you need to make in Durham to really live here and be comfortable. So something's not right with that when a person's only making 12 or
Less than
13.
that.
I mean, and some people,
Less than that, yeah.
minimum wage is $7.25 or something like that. So if you're not making that kind of money, it's really putting you in a hole that you can't dig yourself out of. So the work that we do is not about it's not against development. We want to see development, but make sure development fits the communities. It's just like when you have a community, like what me and Bonita live in, when you have little small homes and then you come and you throw this $300 to $1 million home in between all these little homes, guess what it looks like? I hate to say it, but it looks like that's the slave house compared to the peasants' houses. And it makes people feel a little uncomfortable, because then you start worrying about your income, your taxes. How long will I be able to stay here before I have to be pushed out because this person had put $1 million house beside me? And I know people can put whatever they want if it's private property, but it'd be nice if, you want to build $1 million home, build it in an area where you can have $1 million homes. Everywhere shouldn't have to have $1 million homes because everybody can't afford $1 million home. And I like my community. I love Durham. I love where I'm from. And I pray that I'm not pushed out because of other people's selfishness and not seeing the need of other people who want to have a place to stay too.
I think that the work that Vanessa and I do in partnership is intentional work. It's very thought-centered, it's very community-based, and it's in mind of the people who are here now and the people who were here before us. It's very important that we center ourselves in that, and I think we do on a daily basis in our work, that we're really trying to provide. Our work is service-based. It's community-based, and it's about giving, and I think it's how our parents raised us to be. It's how the churches we went to were. It was about serving and service and being of service to others. And so I think that's what we do. And I think we do a pretty damn good job of it.
I think so too.
Yeah, so I think that's good.
I do think we do a good job. I do.
I think we do.
I mean, I'm not perfect, but I do my best.
So this is my mantra. I'm a perfectly imperfect human being that says and does stupid shit every day.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong.
That's being a true human.
Yeah,
a true
perfectly
human.
Imperfect.
And I've learned, I guess my mantra would be is something that my pastors always told us. Always be brutally honest with yourself.
Yeah.
When you're brutally honest with yourself, whatever else somebody throws at you, you can take it a little bit better because you've learned that, you know who you are.
Yeah.
And I know whose I am.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing especially with maturing, is that you know who you are. And so it's hard for something to shake you.
Yeah.
Because deep at the core, you know who you are, you know what you stand for.
Yeah. And that's my community.
Yeah.
Not Vanessa, but standing for my community.
Yeah.
Standing for those who
can't stand up for themselves.
Stand up for themselves or are afraid to speak.
Yeah.
And giving them a voice to be able to speak.
Yeah.
And hoping that it can help bring positive change.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
That's it. That's it, Mama.
You got it.